What's up, comrades? Nightwolf here, and welcome to another video. Today, I decided that I wanted to kind of sit down and talk about my absolute favorite show that's currently going on, Rising of the Shield Hero. I actually have been really enjoying this anime. I also have been reading a lot of the light novel. I've been enjoying that a lot too, and I decided I wanted to share some stuff that I really loved about the show, and kind of go over my general thoughts of the first 4 episodes and some of the stuff that is not quite included in that's in the light novel, but it's not in the anime itself. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are excited, because I am. So where to start? What do I love about this show? Now, for the most part, a lot of isekai genre shows have a tendency to be pretty cookie cutter. Everybody knows this. It's a meme. It's a joke at this point. But I really enjoy the fact that Rising of the Shield Hero did something completely different than what most modern isekais do. They took the premise of the story, this idea of sending someone to another world that's basically a video game world, and then instead of the character being the hero of the world with all the powers and being amazing and great, he gets all the ladies, all that kind of stuff, this story decides to take it in a darker and somewhat different way. They decided to treat the hero like goddamn dirt. And I'm actually really enjoying that, because, well, the one thing that's always interesting in storytelling is that there's all those stories of, positive vibes. The world is so bright and colorful and lovely and it's perfect and whatnot. But this story decides to take it the opposite way and say that this world is not perfect. It's morally gray and sometimes even twisted in how it handles situations. And it shows that in this show, how twisted a world could be. Imagine if you went to if isekai was actually a real life thing, like you got transported to another world and you think, oh, everything's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be great, and then you see the world for what it truly is. This show really does focus a lot on perception of the world. And when you first start watching, or when the first episode happens, or when the first few chapters happen, you see Naofumi in this very positive viewpoint. He's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. I get to go on adventures. I get to have fun. I could maybe find a girl to fall in love with. All these wonderful things. And then immediately have that stuff ripped away from you. The facade of a perfect world is taken away from you. And you see a very dark world, and your perception of the world changes from positive to a complete negative. You end up hating this world because of the false allegations against you, because people treat you like dirt. And you sympathize with Naofumi, and you can kind of understand why he goes the route he does when it comes to being so dark about his input and the way he sees and views this world. It shows after the rape allegation and the obvious fact that people had been manipulating him from the start, he goes the completely other direction. He hates everybody. There is no love in his heart for this world anymore. Now, the reason why I find that interesting, or why I think that that's a good thing, is it gives an opportunity to tell a story about trying to fix that problem. To understand that not everybody in the world is out to get you. That not everyone is evil. When you watch the show and you see what happens, you see how his perception has changed. And it takes until episode 4 for him to realize that his perception was wrong. That's very interesting to me. I find that it's such a clever way of telling a story. To me, that's very clever. You could have just went, he's on a revenge kick the whole time, but it isn't just revenge or just anger and hatred that is the problem. It's his perception of the world too. Because he doesn't like anybody. Not even the people that he saves. Because during the first wave, he saves an entire village. But he doesn't care. He did it. He doesn't understand why people are supporting him or why they like him now. He doesn't understand that. It's because his perception has been skewed and damaged to a certain point. And I was watching at least one other video where the person discussed like the part where Naofumi can't taste food, and it takes until the end of episode 4 for him to taste food. And when I was reading the story and when I was watching the show, I was like, that is kind of interesting. Because in the first episode, it does show him eating food and that he really enjoys the food. And then all of a sudden, the food doesn't taste good. He doesn't taste anything at all. It was fascinating. I didn't really put a whole lot of stock and thought into it initially. But after watching that one video, I was like, oh, I see what's going on, because this is a thing that can actually happen in real life. People's perception of things can ruin their experience and ruin how food can taste or how they see the world. It's interesting. But not only that, I love this show for how it... Because people had a big issue with the fact that, not only was there fake rape charges, but also they didn't like the fact that slavery was used in the show. Some people were not happy about that. When I see it, or when I was watching it, I saw... Well, at first it's like, okay, it's just the standard typical, he needs somebody to fight for him. No one will work with him because of the allegations, so he really doesn't have much of a choice. He has to resort to using a slave. It's dirty, or at least in the sense of it's dirty work, but somebody has to do it. And when he has Raphtalia, his perception of the world hasn't changed, especially in the light novel. If you thought that he was a jerk in the anime, light novel, he's significantly worse, because every time something horrible happens to somebody, whether that be Raphtalia or others, he's envisioning Melty, the princess, in that position because of what she did to him. And it takes almost losing Raphtalia for him to realize that she's not going anywhere and that she actually cares for him. That was like the most touching and beautiful thing I had ever seen. I was like, wow, this show really decided to hit me in the feels pretty quickly. And in only 4 episodes. That's impressive. That is good. That's engaging the audience very well. I think that... I know that some people have said, like, the story does kind of go downhill after the revenge part is done. But I don't know what that entails exactly. And quite honestly, I'm still down for this journey. I still want to see everything. I still want to see where the story goes, because I really, really enjoyed it. I loved this show, and I'm enjoying reading the light novel. I'm almost done with the first volume of the light novel too. I've been enjoying reading that too. It's been a good read, and I think that it's a fun adventure and a fun story to get invested in. Now, I don't like a whole lot of different isekai shows, but if I were to put this show, Rising of the Shield Hero, on any particular list, I'd probably say it's in the top 3. Because I enjoyed watching the original Dot Hack back in the day. That was a lot of fun. I also enjoyed Escaflowne, which is also an isekai show that you may or may not be aware of. It's also a mech show kind of thing. I enjoyed that one. And I think that this one is up there on that list. I don't know of a whole lot of other isekais that are so good that I'm 100% invested. I would say I really like Overlord, but I'm not as obsessed with Overlord as I am right now with Rising of the Shield Hero. And I do also like That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. That one's a fun one. That's a lighthearted and enjoyable show. But for me right now, it's Rising of the Shield Hero or nothing at all, because it's just that damn good to me right now. I don't know. I could end up getting disappointed in the future. But as it stands right now, I love this show. And I love the light novel. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with the new creature that is included in Philo from episode 5. I want to see more interactions with her. Very interesting. A bird turns into a fatter bird and then turns into a lolly. Don't know how that works exactly, but at the same time, it's still fun to watch. I know that it might be a joke and a bit of a meme, but Raphtalia is best girl to me. I love her. She's so precious. Must protect her. Good raccoon girl. Anyway, with that all said and done and out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, as always, do not forget to, leave me a like, shoot me a comment, subscribe if you're new. Tell me if you've seen Rising of the Shield Hero in the comment section and what you think of the show. Is it good? Is it bad? Let me know. I want to hear a conversation going on. Share the video as well to others so that they can see my content as well. That would greatly help me a lot. The algorithms in YouTube might be out to get me, but I hope that people will check out my content regardless. So for those of you who are loyal and who come by often, I greatly appreciate it. And of course, as always, do not forget to raise your nerd flags high, and I will see you next time. Nightwolf is out!